Hello guys, this is Trader UC from mommytrading.com. It is May 9th and I was just going to review some of the charts that we follow here at Mommy Trades. So let us start with Amazon, and I'm looking at a weekly chart. The weekly chart shows you a nice bullish trend bar that closed last week. So that is a weekly bullish piercing pattern, because the close of this last week was above the 50% point, or midpoint of this bearish trend bar. So that is I would say a bullish sign in itself, right? So let's dig into a daily time frames to get a little bit of better view, and just you can see nice consistent bars up. 2387 is the high, but then if you go for the gap fill from this candle, it becomes 23, I'd say about 96. So that 2396 becomes a gap fill area for Amazon over and above last week's high. And if you look at the daily chart, it's showing a nice sort of a bull flag pattern as well. Not really a clean one, but if you just kind of draw a couple of lines from this point to kind of like this, and then just make a duplicate and just bring it down, something like that. It's kind of taking that shape. So definitely I'll be looking for a move above this, say 2400, to see a follow through. Okay, so that can be a nice trade. And let's actually dig into a 4-hourly, and you can see that it has given us this inside bar. So that was a bullish scenario, right? Stock moving over and above this bull flag, but as traders we should always plan for both sides of the trade. So if I were to take a bearish stance, I can see a bearish Hikake play, and that would be right here. You can see a 4-hourly inside bar followed by 2 4-hourly I would say not so bullish bars, but bars that made a high and and a higher low as well. So once those two once the price comes below the low of that inside bar, which is right here, then the play is to go short below the low of this inside bar. So that is something that we can look for as well. Okay, all right, let's move on to Apple. That is everyone's favorite. Very nice healthy weekly trend bar, so that is a good sign. And the way it looks like, if it's to continue its momentum up, then definitely this 324 to 325 area is achievable. Looks like, since it has already filled the gap from right here, so that looks nice. Drilling down to a daily time frame, a little stretched, already filled the gap of these like 5 points or something. But if I zoom in, it has maintained this trend line, and now it has gone a little too much above this orange, which is a 9 EMA line. Say a little consolidation would be healthy, a little pullback would be nice before we make further gains. That's just my thinking, but we'll see what happens. Okay, but the chart itself is bullish looking. Let's see if there is any tradable setup in 4-hourly time frame. Not much, but you can see the past few days the stock has gone up, but the underlying structure of these bars is not so bullish, right? I mean, yeah, we've been going up, but it's just kind of up and down move, to be honest with you. And if we were to take the trade down, look at, if I were to increase the size of this, you can see these two bars kind of, if you break the low of these two bars, then definitely we can see some retest of this trend line up that has been coming all the way up from like 265 spot. Okay, all right, let's look at Microsoft. All right, and let's go to a weekly time frame of Microsoft. So you can see nice bullish trend bar again, and almost close to its all-time high. So that is very nice. And even the 2 weeks prior to the last week were we saw some nice bottom wicks. So continued buying pressure on any dips. And looking at a daily time frame, lack of bullish trend bars, I would say. That means the momentum is slowing down definitely. So a little pullback can be in the play here. But over and above last week's high, we can target 182, 188 area first. Okay, drilling down to a 4-hourly time frame. Okay, let's see that. Not much going on, but look at this inverted hammer, bearish bar, and then the 2 inside bars. So really consolidating, really tight right now. Let's see what happens next week. We should plan for both sides of the trade. Nvidia, look at the weekly time frame, very close to its all-time high of 316, so very bullish. The daily is also bullish. It closed at the high of the week, so that is nice. A little pullback again would be nice. I would say if it comes down, this is the area where we have multiple touch points, like around 298, 299 spot. That can be a good healthy pullback, and this rising 9 EMA can also provide support on any move down. So we can look for some bullish setup if it comes down there. Netflix, weekly chart, very nice. This is a good 3-bar pattern as well. Usually it's a sign of continued strength. What this means is that after this big move up breakout Netflix, we saw some consolidation sideways with some bottom wicks. There's no bearish trend bar, which would mean that the sellers are gaining control. So there is nothing like that. So that is a good sign. And looking at the daily time frame, you can see there is a nice daily piercing sort of a pattern here, and then since then this Netflix has moved all the way up without giving any bearish follow through after the red bar. So there is nothing like that. Let's look at a 4-hourly time frame. Again, a little sideways in the past 2 to 3 sessions, but nothing too concerning where you're like, okay, this thing is falling apart. So if I were to play, definitely look for a move above 440, 441, and then on the downside, I would wait for at least an hour or 2 4-hourly bar to close red before I start thinking on the short side for this one, right? Because right now it's trending up, the momentum is up, so no need to think otherwise. Okay, so let us look at some NASDAQ futures. Start with, now 4 hours is enough. We had some trend lines here, so the momentum is up again. Lack of bearish trend bars, and even if there is one, there is no follow through. Buyers continued to step in on any dips that we saw in the market, so that is always a bullish sign. And if I were to zoom in on these bars, these are 4-hourly bars, you can see a nice hammer and then another hammer to close the 4-hourly bars on last Friday. So that is nice. Let me look at the 2-hourly time frame. Again, similar story, buyers buying the dips, and you can see there are not much closings in the 2-hourly time frame below the 9 EMA line. And even if there is one, which was right here, there was no follow through. In fact, this ended up becoming a very nice buying opportunity. So again, We dipped below 9 EMA here, but got back up again, got back up. So this area about 9225 has been a resistance. So once we see a move up, definitely you can target 9262 first, and then so on and so forth, 9365 being a weekly resistance on top. Okay, all right. Like always, if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to drop us a note, and hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend.